I have a love-hate relationship with Timex. Sometimes they come out with a watch that I think really is great, hits on all cylinders. However, usually they come out with a watch that has something missing. It's usually a major flaw that they haven't paid attention to, and they are not listening to the audience. However, like I said, there are a few watches, a few gems in their collections that I absolutely love. Today we're going to take a look at the Expedition North Mechanical in 38 millimeters. I think this is currently one of the best watches that they make. There really isn't one major flaw to this watch, which is a good thing. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the Timex Expedition North Field Watch in 38 millimeters. So I really do believe that Timex are trying to listen to their fan base and make better watches. This watch is evidence of that. They came out with a few watches last year that were pretty on point, and this is definitely one of them. This is the Timex Expedition North Mechanical Field Watch in 38 millimeters. I think they came out with this in 41 millimeters as well. One of the other watches that I was really impressed with was the James brand limited edition that they came out with, which was in titanium. They came out with that watch in a non-limited edition form as well. I think these two watches, this watch and that watch, are probably the most impressive Timex ever made. And I really do mean that. This is a really good looking watch, and it's actually pretty nicely made, especially for the price. This gets a sapphire crystal, so very important spec on this watch. Not many Timex come with a sapphire crystal. This one does. It gets 100 meters of water resistance, so this is a true field watch. You could pretty much do anything with this watch. It gets Lume. You have a hacking movement. It is hand wound. This gets a hacking movement. I believe it's a seagull movement that's inside, and of course you do not get a screwed-in crown, but it is signed with the logo for the Expedition line. So this is a completely different lineup of watches, the Expedition North. Now they make this in stainless steel, uncoated, and then this coated version, which is sort of a dark coating on it, which is kind of strange, I have to say. You do get anti-reflective coating in that sapphire, on that sapphire crystal as well. The hands are sort of in the same color as the case. You have a matte black dial, you have a chapter ring, lines up pretty well as well, so I do want to mention that because everything does line up. And then of course you have a 12-hour scale and then a 24-hour scale inboard of that. It just says mechanical above the 6 o'clock index, and then just below the 12 o'clock index, right below that 24, it says Timex. That's it. Winds pretty smoothly. Obviously it is a seagull movement, so not an incredibly expensive movement, but pretty reliable, especially considering the price. Now the price on this watch is a real feature of it because it is $259. I actually purchased this off of Amazon, which had it for $259. You have an oyster style bracelet, and I'm going to point out a couple of things about this bracelet that are a little bit annoying, really about the whole watch that's kind of annoying, and I think it has to do with this coating. You do get pressed end links on here, but for $259, I guess that is forgivable. And they do a pretty good job with making a pressed clasp. It looks pretty good, and it's actually pretty solid, feels pretty good as well. A couple of complaints about the bracelet. So you're gonna notice right off the bat here, that is silver. It is not the same color as the rest of the bracelet. So that happens with all of the links. What that tells me is that they didn't do a really good job of coating this bracelet, and I believe it's an ion coating. So this will scratch and age with time, and it will look all scratched up. Now, that's not a bad thing, really. It might look pretty cool, age and time, and of course, the crystal will not scratch because you have a sapphire crystal. So if you don't like that, just get the stainless steel version. It's, I think, the exact same price. It might be even cheaper because it's not coated. The other issue here is that you're going to see a lot of fingerprints on here for one reason or another, and I don't have very moist hands that create a lot of fingerprints. A lot of fingerprints get sort of recorded on this watch because of this coating. Again, I would go with the stainless steel version if you are not into this look. It will actually look newer, longer. Also, you have friction pins in the bracelet, just something to note. Very quickly, I will throw it on my wrist right after I do some quick measurements, and then we will do a very quick lume shot, because I have not seen the lume on this watch, but it is spot on at around 38 millimeters. Thickness on here, it is a hand wound watch with 100 meters of water resistance at 10 millimeters. That is pretty good. The crown, 5.8 millimeters. You do have female end links on here, so again, thinking through the watch is very, very good. So it's around 47 millimeters, even on the bracelet. 47 millimeters, doesn't matter. This will look really good on a strap, on a NATO strap. Definitely gives watches like the Hamilton Khaki Field and the Bulova Hack a run for their money at retail. If we're talking about retail, this is definitely half the price of those other two watches. Actually a lot less expensive than the Swiss-made Hamilton, so something to keep in mind. Very quickly, let me show you the watch that I have on my wrist. Then I'm going to throw this on my wrist and we'll do a quick lume shot. Today I have on somewhat of a world exclusive. This is the new 43 millimeter Bulova Lunar Pilot, yet to be released. And I am one of the first, if not the first, channel to have a video up on this watch. It will be up tomorrow, February 7th, here on my channel. So if you are interested in this watch or the black dial variant, which I actually have right here in 43 millimeters, and you want to know all of the details on here, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will be having all of those details and going through both of the watches in detail. So very quickly, let me throw the Timex on my 7.5 inch wrist. And like I said, this is a 38 millimeter watch with a 10 millimeter thickness. I do like the dark coating on this watch. It's not black, so it doesn't look cheap. It almost looks like titanium, but it is not. I have to say, it's a very good looking watch for $259. Very quickly, a lume shot. There you go, lume is not bad on here. I'm actually pretty impressed. The hands are a little bit brighter than the indices, and then of course you have these little dots that are around the primary indices, or actually all of the indices I should say, and then you have a triangle at the 12 o'clock to give you orientation in the dark. There is no lume on the second hand, which is, I guess, okay. I wish there was lume on the second hand, just so you could see that your watch is working in the dark. That's just a pet peeve of mine. I really like to have that. Other than that, I think it's decently lumed, which for the price is not bad. $259 from Timex. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of what Timex are trying to do? They've been coming out with some interesting watches over the past year and a half, 2 years, and they've been really stepping up the game using some better components. They have been lagging behind on a few of their other watches, but this Expedition North lineup has really taken off, and they put some real thought into these watches, at least in my opinion. Of course, they are flawed. There's definite flaws with these watches. I don't know if they're lifetime watches, but you know, all in all, I think they're really well constructed, especially considering the price. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.